What's happening, people? This is your boy Phil checking in with the Say What You Like Sports podcast because week one is now in the books. Every team's got to play their first game, so everybody in the NFL is either 1-0 or 0-1, feeling really good about themselves or really bad about themselves. But so it's time to kick it off here for week two with the Say What You Like weekly NFL podcast. And I gotta admit, I am a bit strapped for time right about now. So I'm going to have to hit you with just a quick hitter here, man. And thank goodness, too, because my Cowboys, man, I don't really have much to say about them after the pathetic showing on offense that they had this weekend, losing to the Carolina Panthers by a score of 16-8. And what can I say, man? The Cowboys raised even more question marks around this offense with that pathetic showing. But I got to admit, a lot of so-called Cowboys fans just are calling for Scott Linehan's head and Jason Garrett's head like they're the ones out there on the field. I gotta admit, my beef is more with the players and the execution on the field than the play calling. I mean, Tyron Smith, your all-pro left tackle, had 2 holding penalties in the first half, getting you behind the chains. La'el Collins matched him on the right tackle with 2 holding penalties in the second half. And you guys know what this offense has been for the last few years. It cannot afford to get behind the chains. So I don't really put that on the play calling, Those false starts, those holding penalties, those are the players. Those are execution. Dak looked bad. And I will agree this much. I do put a lot of blame on Coach Garrett because he's neither calling the plays on offense or defense. He is supposed to have his thumb on the pulse of this team. And he should know that a third-year quarterback like Dak Prescott needs more reps in the preseason. It doesn't matter if your offensive linemen are hurt or not because that's the offensive lineman he's got to get used to playing with in week one. And I think I can chalk up some of the offensive woes to rust. And I'm not trying to defend the Cowboys coaching staff or the players. I think it was equally pathetic of an effort for the both of them. To be perfectly honest with you, I was very disappointed. It hurt me to watch and hurt even more to rewatch. Like I mentioned, Tyron Smith, the 2 holding penalties. La'el Collins, the other 2 holding penalties. Connor Williams played okay, but there was quite a few plays where he was getting pushed around right into Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott, man, he looked a little jittery back there in the pocket. I didn't like how I think he was just a second too quick on trying to run. And instead of where he could have maybe just stepped up in the pocket and delivered the throw, he got into run mode, He didn't his weight distribution was off in the pocket to me, just a little bit. So, that goes a long way with the inaccuracies. You saw everybody's talking about how he missed a wide open Blake Jarwin on that one play that would have been a big 40-yard play, man. I mean, he missed it. Would have put him in Carolina territory, which is they didn't spend much of that time on that game. So, just disappointing, man. But like I say, I got to stay on track here. The coaching staff isn't the one out there committing the holding penalties. The coaching staff isn't the one missing wide open throws. The only thing I can blame the coaching staff for is you should know that your team wasn't ready, wasn't looking sharp because they hadn't played together much in the preseason. And that's why they had such a pathetic, rusty-ass effort in week one. So all I'm going to say is this. Players, coaches, the Cowboys organization, you are put on notice. Hey, you got your preseason out of the way in week one. You guys need to get on the same page. You guys need to play like a team. It's a team game. I'm tired of this division within the Cowboys organization and within the fan base. It's Dez's fault. It's Dak's fault. It's Linehan's fault. No, it's Garrett's fault. Jerry Jones has been ruining the franchise ever since he bought it, ever since he fired Jimmy. Man, forget it all, man. Forget it. The bottom line is this. This team has to start being united. It's 9/11 right now. And you know what? For as terrible of a tragedy as 9/11 was, at least the one positive we can find out of that is we were united after that. We were not divided. And that's what Cowboys Nation's got to be. It's got to be united. It's got to be united. Coaches, players have to take accountability and turn this thing around. And I believe they can do so because let's just remember back in 2016, Dak Prescott lost his first game to the New York Giants on opening night. And then They went on to go 13-3, take the division crown, first round bye. In 2014, when they made another playoff berth, they lost that first game to the San Francisco 49ers. Romo threw 3 picks. The offense looked terrible. And they went on to go, 12-4 and make the playoffs. Even way back in 2004, I think it was, with Bill Parcells, when they made the playoffs with Quincy Carter. They dropped that first game to, I think, ATL. Didn't look good at all. So one game does not a season make. It's time to just get on the same page. Look, by now, after week 1, you should have shaken off the rust. I expect to see a much cleaner, more efficient offense against the Giants. You're very used to the coaching staff, the players. They should be used to the personnel that the Giants have and the schemes they like to run. They're a division rival. So, if we see another effort like this, then I'll start calling for some coaching, some coaching staff's heads, because, it's just showing me that week in and week out they're ill prepared. But, right now, at least early on, I think a lot of the problems on offense were due to execution. That's just what I saw, but it's just one Cowboys fan's opinion here. So, like I said, y'all, I am really strapped for time. I want to hit you guys back next week with some picks, previews, and predictions for the upcoming week. Go in depth with some analysis of what I seen on games from different teams across the NFC and the AFC, not just the Cowboys. But for now, just had to hit you with the quick thoughts. The one that was dear to my heart, watching my Cowboys go down 0-1 in the season, but hoping they can pull even with the hated rival New York Giants. I hope Zeke is motivated to show that Saquon is not the best running back in the NFC East. But we're going to see, man. We're going to see. Both these teams have their issues, but both these teams have their talents. So, you know what? That's the thing I love about football. It's all about who wants it more on Sundays. And we're going to see Sunday Night Football. We'll recap then. Peace out, y'all.